Yeah, okay, Fred. No problem. You give me a call if you ever need help up this way. Okay, no. Yeah, bye-bye.
Well?
Well, I'm afraid this isn't going to give Mary Lynn the peace of mind you were hoping for.
Your friend in Texas didn't find anything?
Nope. No death certificate, no report from the coroners, and no burial record.
Oh, it's obvious Mrs. Dennison isn't dead, John.
Oh?
Yeah, people don't die without leaving a record. She wasn't killed in a car crash in Texas.
No, not according to official sources.
Which means that Mr. Dennison was lying to Mary Lynn. But why? If his wife is alive, what's he covering up?
That's very good. You're starting to sound like a real PI.
Thank you. Now, where do we go from here?
That's a good question. Maybe nowhere.
Nowhere?
Yeah, I'm just not so sure that these answers that you're looking for are any of your business.
John, Mary Lynn is my friend. I can't just give up on her. I can't pretend I don't know anything. I'm not good at that. Come on, I need your help, please. As a friend. All right.
That does it.
What's wrong?
All of this has got to stop. You know what's wrong. Don't pretend you're not as conscious of it as I am.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Cassie, come on. We've got to deal with this now.
Right now.
Right now. The sooner the better.
All right. What do you want to do about it?
Well, we can't go walking on eggshells about this.
I agree.
Good.
I'm glad you brought the whole thing up because the strain of all this was really beginning to get to me.
Well, now we can sit down and discuss it, reasonably and logically.
Like two mature adults.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you want to go first or should I?
Well, you go ahead.
All right. This whole thing is completely and totally out of the question. It's ridiculous because of Mom.
Agreed. But Dorian's got nothing to do with it, though.
Nothing to do with it. Are you nuts? John, she would be hurt. Hurt. She'd be devastated.
Cassie, nobody is going to get hurt here.
John, my mother is in love with you.
Nobody is going to get hurt because as a result of this reasonable and logical discussion we're having here, we're just going to nip this whole thing in the bud.
Oh, and how are we going to do that, John?
It's simple, actually. All you have to do, Cassie, is sit down and clear your head. Just have a little talk with yourself and forget about it.
Wait a minute. Exactly what is it that I'm supposed to forget?
Well, this silly, extremely flattering, but silly infatuation that you have fallen into.
Infatuation?
All right, call it whatever you want. The important part is you can conquer this. You can conquer it very easily.
Oh, I see. I see. This whole thing is my problem.
Well, I just don't want it to get out of hand.
Of all the conceited, arrogant,
What?
you think you're irresistible, don't you?
What are you talking about?
You are the most pompous, self-centered. You think I've been coming on to you? Well, I've got news for you, John Russell. You've been coming on to me. You're the one who's infatuated. You heard what I said.
Oh, I heard what you said, but I don't know where you got that idea from. I have never once stepped out of bounds with you. I've been a perfect gentleman all of the time. And if there ever is such a thing as a perfect gentleman, let me tell you, I've been him.
Oh, well, let me get a medal and pin it to your chest.
And not only have I been a perfect gentleman, but I am in love with your mother. Now, why would I think about, much less make a pass at her daughter?
I don't know, John. Why don't you tell me?
Oh, come on, Cassie, give me a break. You're Dorian's kid.
I am a woman, and I see the way you look at me.
Well, you're a very beautiful woman. And when I look at you, it's out of appreciation. Let me tell you, I don't come on to you.
Who do you think you're talking to? You think I can't tell when a man is attracted to me?
And you called me arrogant.
I thought we were just going to be honest here.
All right. You want honesty? I'll give you honesty.
Yeah.
How come every time that we're alone together, you start flirting with me and don't say that you don't?
You make up excuses to spend time with me.
You come down to breakfast dressed in little nighties that would make any man want to.
I sleep in whatever is comfortable. You can't say goodbye to me without looking miserable.
Miserable?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? If I look miserable, then you look wretched.
Wretched?
You
I
got
look
it.
wretched?
Yeah. What? What? What's up? Yeah, we're something else.
Yeah, we're both pretty stupid.
So much for a reasonable and logical discussion, huh?
Yeah, we both did a lot better job at walking on eggshells. I shouldn't have done that.
Cassie.
That was a really big mistake. I don't know why I did that. I just, Look, John, maybe it's not a good idea if I work here anymore.
Preferred if you didn't quit.
You mean that?
Yeah. You're a good assistant, Cassie. You're a pain in the neck half the time, but I'm still used to working around you.
Yeah, well, you're no prize either. But I really like my job, and I don't want to quit.
Good. And it's settled, huh?
Settled. I was acting like such an idiot.
Hey.
I'm embarrassed.
Come on, don't be. You haven't exactly cornered the idiot market, let me tell you.
That is never going to happen again. I swear to you. Cross my heart.
All right. Let's forget about it. Back to work.
Yeah. Case of the missing Mrs. Dennison.
I've got a suggestion. Well, with Vicky's condition, and people are so upset about it, especially Tom Dennison, maybe you should think about not telling his daughter that the state of Texas doesn't have any death record on her mother until after this whole thing is settled down.
Yeah, you're probably right. Mr. Dennison's so upset with Vicky right now, the last thing he needs is his daughter confronting him about lying to her.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'm getting more and more curious myself. I've got a feeling if this lady is alive, that we're going to find her.
Promise?
Yeah. Cross my heart.
John, guess what?
What?
A nurse at the hospital just told me Vicky's condition has improved.
Oh, that's terrific.
I know.
That's the best news we've heard in a long time.
Great.
Yeah. Why are you looking so guilty?
Because physical contact is something that we're trying to avoid.
Come on, Cassie, it's hardly like the big smackaroo on the lips you gave me earlier.
John, will you stop? You're embarrassing me, and you're enjoying it.
Well, it's just that in the Lighten Up or Die school, they teach you to laugh as much as possible. Now, what are we going to do? Ignore that our chemistry got out of hand for a little bit here and then we would bury it away like some big dark secret?
Well...
I just don't want to be in the awkward position of every time we brush up against each other feeling funny.
John, if there weren't sparks every time that happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, I tell you what, you may spark. I don't even illuminate.
Oh, give me a break. This whole chemistry thing is a two-way street. I'm not taking total responsibility for all... Why are we even having this conversation? Excuse me, Steve.
Oh, hi, Pam.
Is Johnny Cassie?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I know. Sounds like a story. Come on, tell me.
Well, I met them at Dorian Lord's party at Barry's in honor of her appointment to the Committee on Prison Reform. Only we got off to a really bad start. Pamela, she sure is a pretty lady.
How would you like to meet her again and get off on the right foot?
Yeah, I think I'd like that very much.
Okay. But first, work. All those little details I was talking about.
Steve, you were put in an impossible position that day.
And if I was rude, it was because I completely had it with Diane.
Well, as long as everything's cool.
I'm certainly glad that's all taken care of. You know, Steve's going to be in Landview for a very long time. He's an absolutely fantastic contractor. You get a good idea when I'm talking about when you see the finished Vernon Inn. I hope, when it's ever done.
Now, Pam, don't get excited again.
Oh, dear, I can't help it. So many details, too. I've really got to get back to work. Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, and thanks for telling me about Vicky. Now I can concentrate all of my anxiety on this place.
Hey, you'll make it. Just relax, huh?
John, I've been thinking maybe we ought to hire another private detective for the hotel. Now, I know that's not your line of work, but I was wondering if maybe you could recommend somebody.
Me?
Yeah, I thought we might talk about it over dinner.
You don't want to talk about house detectives over dinner, Steve.
Well, maybe for a couple of minutes, but that's all.
I could only fill up the conversation with 2 minutes of information.
I tell you what, maybe I can give you names of a couple agencies that do handle that sort of thing.
Good, well, thanks. We'd appreciate it. Now, how about that dinner?
Sure. Yeah, I don't have any other plans. I'd love to. There's only one problem. I'm really not that hungry.
Well, then we'll just have to go dancing until you are.
That's an even better idea. Working as a slave all day works my mind, but not my body.
Well, that's a paid slave.
Depending on your definition. Oh. See you later, boss.
Hey, take it easy, John.
Yeah, right.